Back here on Q Rewind, and again, we're getting ourselves set for Charlottetown versus Halifax from October 8th, but we're getting set for live games back here on Eastlink Community TV. Logan Delaney, and also joining us, a guy that's ready to fill in the dates in the calendar, Mike Smith. Smitty, it's been a long road coming, but we finally are getting things back on track.
Yeah, it's coming all back together. Right, and it's such an exciting time for so many reasons, but for us, the hockey reasons. And, you know, the tournaments are starting for scouting, Q's coming back, and our broadcasts are coming back in an exciting time, an extended spring. The most exciting time in the Q gets extended this year. To
quote Celine Dion, it's all coming back to me now. Is that...
Actually, that's good. I think Meatloaf did a better job.
You think? Which one's better than It's All Coming Back to Me now from Meatloaf? Rest in peace, by the way.
Can't beat Paradise by the Dashboard Light, but Bat Out of Hell is great.
That's also good, you know. But enough about Meatloaf and food and singing. Logan, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's nice to have normalcy back again and actually have some local hockey going on. I'm pretty pumped.
Smitty, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Truck, are you ready? It's time now for the official QMJHL Friday Night Hockey schedule reveal, and we start things off. What rink are we going to be in first? Are we going to be in Cape Breton, Charlottetown, or Halifax? No! We are going to Moncton for the first time ever, February 15th, Avenir Center, Mooseheads versus Wildcats. Gentlemen, this is a matchup that has plenty of NHL prospects.
Yeah, absolutely, Mavs. And it's like you said, first road trip for Eastlink going to Moncton, that big, beautiful new arena, too. And yes, loaded with young talent, both these teams. Moncton Wildcats got a couple games in hand over the Mooseheads right now, only a couple points behind them. I think this is going to be a really good matchup for both these teams, a real true test. You got two teams nipping at the heels of each other. This is going to be a good one.
Smitty, a scouting dream, as you would say. You're a junior scout. When the pros see these many guys on the ice together, what's it like?
Well, they flock there. It's like eagles flocking to the feast for sure. And Moncton, you know, and you're right, Avenir Center is an outstanding building to watch a game in, a great atmosphere. And of course, those two traditional rivals, the Mooseheads and the Eagles. But I'm telling you this, watch the Wildcats. I really think the Wildcats could make a little bit of dark horse noise. I know they've moved some pieces out and that, but I think there's some guys in that roster that have some things they'd like to prove to the rest of the league.
Our second matchup, we take a look at it. It is going to be on February 18th. The Memorial Cup hosting Sea Dogs coming in to take on the Halifax Mooseheads. Our first true Friday night hockey game of the year. And Elliot Desnoyers, so much talk was made about Elliot Desnoyers potentially going to the Sea Dogs. Didn't happen. He'll be leading the team. Mike, what are you expecting out of this matchup?
Well, it's the Sea Dogs basically redeveloped their whole team. They cleared out their goaltending room and came in with two new guys, and they're hosting the Memorial Cup. So they want to have a big finish coming down the stretch there. And I think, again, the Mooseheads, a lot of young guys with some things to prove there. And Desnoyers, sometimes not trading pieces, serves out to be a lot of value. And I'm sure the Mooseheads glad to have him still in the fold.
Logan, 91, leading his team against a team that he potentially was going to. What's going to be the emotion for Elliot?
Well, no secret. Halifax Mooseheads and St. John Sea Dogs always have a little bit of a heated battle with one another. It doesn't matter what season it is and who's on the roster or who's not. And so I'm looking forward to a big game. You know, Halifax, they always get amped up playing the Sea Dogs, especially now with the roster they have. And there's nothing better than taking a win against a Memorial Cup hosting team.
We go from Friday. We're going to be playing again. We're going on a Monday matinee. It is going to be on the 21st. The Wildcats and the Mooseheads at 2 p.m. from Scotiabank Center. So we'll see a little bit more of Moncton versus Halifax. And then later in the week, Wednesday, February 23rd, where do we go? Off to the Eastlink Center. It's time to see Smitty. It's the Islanders and the Mooseheads, and it's our first look on Eastlink Community TV of Frankie LaPena. Smitty, you're our goaltending expert. We talked a little bit about his shutout versus Quebec, but buddy, this is the piece for Charlottetown to go deep.
No, it is, and like I said a few weeks back, All the talk of guys in Quebec, they said when Lapina ends up in Charlottetown, that's it. No one beats them. That's what the mindset of a lot of hockey minds in Quebec were in. And I'm glad to hear you guys are so tight, you and Frankie. And it should make for some good interviews. But I think he is a big piece of many big pieces that they've added, of course. And we'll get a real close look at this Islanders team that's prepared to go long into the spring and possibly the start of summer.
Well, it'll be long into our coverage in this weekend, because on the Friday, February 25th, Saturday the 26th, both at 7, Eagles and Islanders from Center 200. Our first look at the Cape Breton Eagles since the trade deadline, and a lot has got to be resting on the shoulders of Ivan Logan.
Yeah, that's right. Ivan, probably the last big dog goal scorer left in the Cape Breton Eagles after they basically traded away everyone during the rebuild period. But you know what? One thing I've always said about teams from Cape Breton, man, they don't quit. You know what I mean? Hard work is in their DNA. And new head coach Chad Cassidy got a lot of things he wants to prove with this team and in this league. And you know what? They got a tall order playing the Charlottetown Islanders, no question about it. But hey, they're happy to be back on the ice playing hockey. And at this point, that's the most important thing.
We move into Friday, March the 4th. As you see, Ivan beating the Mooseheads there. Mooseheads and Wildcats. We've got this matchup 3 times on our schedule so far. That is, again, a Friday night hockey matchup. But then the next week, the main event of the Maritime Division, the first meeting of the St. John Sea Dogs and the Charlottetown Islanders. Everyone wants to be there for the money game. I mean, look, you've got Patrick Gay, Will DeFore, 2 guys that are going for the goal-scoring title. But Smitty, look, the superlatives are all there. This is 1 versus 2 in the Maritime Division.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a great matchup. And, of course, is it going to be a preview of a Memorial Cup round-robin game? Could be for so. Now, I can't see you guys. Am I between you guys? Am I between you on the screen?
You certainly are.
Because, you know, there's more exciting news coming to our broadcast. I'm going between the benches.
This is exciting stuff. You are going to be in between the glass, so you are going to get to give us the inside take of that main event matchup. Logan, Charlottetown, St. John, this is what it's building to. It's going to be the first matchup. How much anticipation is there for that on the 11th?
Well, I'll tell you this. People can sit here and go, oh, it's just a regular season game. It doesn't matter. I'll tell you right now, damn right it matters. This is a big matchup. Both these teams have that game circled on the calendar for sure. This is a true test of really 2 big dogs in this league going head-to-head. You want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and that's both those teams want to take that win. That's a huge litmus test for what potentially could be later on in the season, deep in the Q League playoffs and Memorial Cup as well.
We move on forward. It is going to be a double dip of our friends from Northern New Brunswick. March 18th, ACADIE-BATHURST versus Cape Breton from Center 200. And then the next week, ACADIE-BATHURST versus Halifax. ACADIE-BATHURST is finding their stride right now. Big guns ablazing. Logan, we've talked a lot about what we like out of this roster. Smitty, when you see ACADIE-BATHURST on paper and what they're putting together from the trade deadline, what jumps out for you?
Well, they've added offensive punch, and you know, you talk about Bennett MacArthur, Prince Arlan, guys been scoring lots of goals. Kidney, we've talked about him at nauseam in broadcast, how fantastic he's been for them. And Miguel Tournier comes over from the Armada, and he has nothing but scoring punch. And I really think Bathurst is someone that everyone has to take serious, and I truly think that the Islanders feel if there's a roadblock to them winning the President's Cup, it might be coming from Northern New Brunswick.
Well, I'll tell you this, Mavs. I'm excited to have Bathurst doing 2 games on Eastlink, and I'll tell you why. For everyone at home watching, those are 2 games you want to see. This is a fun hockey team to watch. They're really good, and they have 20 Atlantic Canadians on the roster, which I think is absolutely awesome. I'm pumped that there's 2 games back-to-back. I tell you right now, they are worth the watch.
Now, I can tell you this is the final game we're announcing right now, but there's going to be more games coming in April. But we start things off, not an April Fool's joke. It's the Mooseheads and the Islanders. And really, at this point of the season, we've talked a lot about the offensive firepower for Halifax. For them to reach their potential, it's going to be on goaltending, and we're taking a look at Brady James and Mathis Russo.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, 2 excellent young goaltenders. Brady James really made a mark in this league, and Mathis Russo coming in his rookie season, QMJHL. Already a lot of people are touting him to have a very, very high-level future for sure. And hey, like I mentioned earlier, you want to beat the best. You want to be the best. You got to beat the best. Great test for both those young goaltenders. And I tell you, I'd be more than comfortable putting either Brady, James, or Mathis Russo in the net against the Charlottetown Islanders.
Smitty, is the crux of Moosehead's success on their two goaltenders?
Well, if you're going to go anywhere, you need to have goaltending, and they've proven that they can carry the load for the Mooseheads. But let's not forget, we talked about Lupina. Oliver Satney has been good for the Islanders this year when we've seen him. So the Islanders equally two capable guys too, and that's the way hockey's going now. You have to have two kids that can play. You can't have your starter and then a guy like me sitting there who never sees the net, right? You need to have those two guys that are going all the time, and those are two teams we'll see on April Fool's Day. There's never a fool in the crease.
Well, let's take a look at our full schedule up to April 1st as we bring it in, the Friday Night Hockey. There it is. You heard us rant and rave about why these are can't-miss matchups. I've been talking with some sources at local box office. People are very happy to be getting back out into the community, and I'll tell you, they're saying tickets are moving fast, so if you can't be in the building, thankfully, you're going to be joining us here on Friday Night Hockey with these upcoming three broadcasts.
Busy schedule. It's good to have it back. This is loaded for sure.
Yeah, I've been wondering what the circuit that's on tour. Are we going to see Ron Gauguin or Bernie Richard with striped shirts on in any of these events?
Thank God you made an Atlantic Grand Prix wrestling reference, Smitty. It wouldn't be a broadcast from the Maritimes without it. Clip it and send it to Ken Reed. But hey, speaking of the Atlantic Grand Prix circuit, we've got some Maritime Hockey League action as well coming to your way. We've got the Bearcats and the Mariners on the 19th, Truro and Valley on the 5th, the 12th, Pictou County and Truro. March 22nd, the playoffs begin, and then May 10th to the 15th, let's go to Summerside. Smitty, it's Fred Page Cup time right here on Eastlink Community TV.
Always worth the ride to Summerside. We had such a blast back in 2019 in Amherst. Looking forward to it being in Summerside, and you know the city of Summerside is going to do a bang-up job, and that Western Caps team, they are a house on fire.
I love that rink.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
I love that. I think it's one of the best junior A rinks going. It's awesome.
We've got about 30 seconds left, and again, April, we're going to be looking at U18 playoffs, MHL playoffs, high school, and the Q. Guys, can't wait to be back in rinks with you, and we are going to be having so much fun. Circle the dates on the calendar because we have ourselves the QMJHL Friday Night Hockey schedule and all the games back here on the ice. But we're going to go back to October 8th. It's the Mooseheads and the Islanders from Eastlink Center. Thanks for watching Friday Night Hockey Rewind. It's going to be Friday Night Hockey live and in person starting